Welcome everyone to the Big Realty Debate, the debate on breakdown of trust amongst buyers of real estate or homes in the country and the developer. Today we'll bring you face to face with groups of people who are traumatized, fed up and are at their wits' end, fighting to get the home they've paid up 90% of the monies for. But their home is not in sight. A prop equity study shows that execution delays across the country have risen between 2010 and 2013. But the worst hit by execution delays is North India, specifically the National Capital Region. A Google search, a simple one, will show you that there is a buyer forum against several large developers in North India. Why have things become so messy? Why is it that developers are unable to deliver yet allowed to launch new projects? Why have we as buyers come to accept a delay of 12 months to 18 months as a norm rather than an exception? On the show today, we have buyer forums of course, the developers against who we've received several emails over the last 3 years. Unitech, JP, BPTB, names that of course are fairly publicly available in terms of delayed projects. Undoubtedly, they are the worst offenders when it comes to timely delivery, and there are many who actually do follow the timelines. But then a few of these big ones and the issues of trust do get questioned. Some of those will get highlighted by also buyers of DLF, Parsavnath and Orchid, who are also amongst us, with their lawyer Pooja Agarwal. Now, the big question that we have for our expert panel and guests today: how do you fix and repair their trust? Sudipto Pal, Advocate, Supreme Court. Our other guest, Dhanendra Kumar, Chairman, Committee on Streamlining Approval Procedures for Real Estate Projects, and also former Chairman of Competition Commission of India. Debashish Roy, CEO of Urban Thirst. Gitambar Anand, CMD ATS Infrastructure Limited, and also President-elect CREDAI. Nishant Singhal, Promoter and Director, Strategy Investors Clinic. And Pankaj Bajaj, MD Eldeco Infrastructure Properties Limited and Executive Committee Member CREDAI. From Mumbai, Gulam Zia, Executive Director, Knight Frank India. We really had to have a panel of guests representing brokers, developers, CREDAI, and of course independent watchdogs like ex-CCI members to really tell us what the solution is. Now, you know, I've already talked about the number of delayed projects, but a quick snapshot of what's been happening. Now, if you look at number of delayed projects in terms of the execution track record, this is of course projects offered for possession before June 2014. Now, NCR, if you look at it, we are not taking North India but NCR. So, the projects which had to be delivered were a little over 1,000. Average delay is 27 months. 27 months. So there's actually the good developers have pulled down the average delay, because if you were to just look at the largest offenders, the delays could have ranged from much higher, maybe 36 to 48 months as well. South region, number of projects are larger because we've taken 3 cities, Chennai, Bangalore and Hyderabad, and number of projects to be delivered were 5,300. Average delay is 15 months. So there's definitely something which is not working in the National Capital Region. You look at the West region, Mumbai region and Pune, average delay is 17 months. East region, only Kolkata, number of projects not too much, but average delay 17 months. So 27 months, 15 months. There's a huge gap there. And we have taken some assumptions here in this report. One is that about 100 units should be delivered in 18 months, 100 to 200 unit projects should be delivered in 24 months, 200 to 436 months, 400 to 648 months. And remember, for projects up to 800 units and above, we have actually taken timelines of 4.5 to 5 years. Nothing should take more than 5 years to develop is what we've said. So I think the first question, and there are a lot of buyers here who are waiting to ask our panel of experts a lot of questions, is what's going on? I mean, I can see those t-shirts there, wish there was a town, and this is a JP story. It has been in news all through last 2 weeks as well. So let me hear from you. Your project has been delayed, what, 5 years? Is that it?
Yeah, at least 5 years from now, and yet there is no sight that okay, in the next 1 or 2 years we are going to get it.
It has been delayed by 5 years, or it's 5 years since you've not got your house?
It has been delayed to almost 4.
So when did you book it?
Yes, we have booked it in 2008, and from there on it's going on and on. Every time we meet, we get a new chocolates.
You get chocolates?
Yeah, we get a new chocolates in terms of a new dates.
All right, you
go
get
home,
new
come back again,
chocolate.
fight back, keep paying the EMIs, keep paying the rents and all. and next time you're coming back, we again have a new list of position dates. So 4-5 years already gone. There is yet no hope that we are going to get it, at least with the same pace of construction, another 4-5 years.
Okay, so delayed 2008 is when you had booked it.
Yes.
I think there's a case of Parsavnath, 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. So basically, it is a very classic case where the project was launched in 2004, and till now, which is 2014, only 30% of the work has been done, and the project should have been completed latest by 2009. And as I picked up from you, that it was only 350 high premium residential flats project, so it is not one of those 800 flat projects. So it is already 10 years down the line, and the status is, even if they try their best, they cannot complete and give the possession. Even if they start working day and night, they can't complete the project and give possession in next 5 years.
Okay, that's the second story. So let me just read out. I know that all of you are here and you have many other questions. JP, now this is what I would like my panel to consider. A total of 43 projects delayed. It's not 1, 2, 5, 8, 10. It's 43 projects which have been delayed in sectors of Noida and Greater Noida. Average delay of these projects is 25 months. Some projects have been delayed by as much as 50 to 65 months, and I think the team here is representing a project which has been delayed by more than 5 years. 10 new projects launched in the last 2 years in the same region. BPTP, another big NCR developer who has contributed to that average of 27 months, which of course then makes us question NCR developers, and NCR developers ask us, what do you have against NCR developers? We just have these figures to talk about. BPTB, 14 projects delayed in the regions across Faridabad and Gurgaon, 5 projects launched in 2 years, average delay of 20 months, with few projects delayed as much as 35 months to about 3 years. Parsavnath, again a big story, 12 projects delayed. This is New Delhi, Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, Greater Noida, Lucknow, Sonepat and Panipat. Average delay of 49 months. Some have been delayed by 68 months, and now we get to know there's one delayed by 10 years. No new projects launched in the last 2 years. Well, I am so glad to hear that. Aren't you glad to hear that? No new projects launched in the last 2 years. Unitech, of course, we know that the company is going through troubled times. Our question is, why are you launching new projects? 10 projects launched in the last 2 years in Gurgaon, Noida, Bangalore, Mumbai and Bhopal. 53 projects have already been delayed. So that report card is being showed because I think it's really important for our viewers who are getting the message that please be very careful when you're buying new projects of these developers. But let me come first to Mr. Dhanendra Kumar. Mr. Kumar, I mean, you were in CCI. I think CCI was the first messiah for real estate buyers as such. What do you make of what's going on?
It is most unfortunate, Manisha. Let me first of all tell you that in this activity there are 3 players. One is the developer, obviously. The other is the consumer, who is at the receiving end. The third is also the government, which grants the license. It's important that all the 3 work in unison. What happens first of all, that the builder's agreement, which is also known sometimes as apartment buyer's agreement, this agreement is generally one-sided. For delays by the builder, he would only pay some token amount, 2 rupees, 5 rupees per square feet, while for any delay in payment of installment, he would have to pay 18% penal interest, or the builder would also have the right to cancel it, forfeit a large chunk of it, and so on. The entire agreement is one-sided. There is also a term in the legal parlance, contra proferentum, that if there is a dominant party between the 2 sides entering into a contract, and the dominant party draws a contract, then in such a situation it would be an inference against the party that he would have drafted it in his own favor and against the other party if there is a situation like this, but I am not going into that. But the entire agreement, if you look into various clauses, when I was chairman of CCI, for example, and subsequently the matter has been examined by the appellate tribunal, which as you know is chaired by a former Supreme Court judge, it has held that that agreement is one-sided, it's unfair, and that's why the CCI quashed it, and they imposed a fine of 630 crores on the builder.
On the dominant player, all right, which
The
is TLF.
problem is this, that unless a builder is held dominant under the Competition Act, no action can be taken against the builder under that act.
Okay, so yeah, so maybe this is what I want to hear. This was because the Bel Air group of the Forum of Buyers actually came to CCI, right? That's when CCI also started looking at it and saying, okay, there is an abuse of dominant position. What happens? Isn't JP considered to be a dominant player in Noida and
Well,
Greater Noida?
unless-
How do you come to that dominant position
You
abuse?
see, a case is filed in the Competition Commission and there are various ingredients under Section 4 of the Competition Act, wherein basic premise is that the party concerned or the enterprise should be able to act independently without his competition. Like in this case, they could possibly be the market leader. In fact, one of the factors also was that they declared in their prospectus that we are dominant. At that time, Competition Act was not so much known.
Okay.
So now people are being careful in the public
They
issue
don't
and
write
so
in
on.
their prospectus saying that they are dominant, all right,
Dominant,
okay. But I think a larger question is, Gitambar and representing CREDAI, the one thing that I've heard from developers is we can't do anything about the delays. We are getting approvals late and that's what's leading to delays. It could be maybe 6 months or 12 months, but these kind of delays cannot be because of approval delays, isn't it?
See, I'll just take forward what Mr. Kumar said. He very rightly put it that there are three stakeholders. I'd say there are four. Even the financial institutions is the fourth one. The developer, the buyer, the approving authority, and also the financing authority. So yes, approval delays, you say that it couldn't cause such a delay, but yes, in certain cases it does happen. Maybe not so much over here, but in Bombay you have to take, Maharashtra you have to take a plinth certificate. Every slab you have to take an NOC from the government, so that could be late in coming. Like in Noida, there's the sudden unexpected NGT issue, that could be another issue. What has happened is, nobody would willfully like to delay a project, let me tell you this, because most of these guys are here in it for the long haul. There are three main reasons for delay. The first is, I would say, a lack of proper planning by the developer, because he gives the wrong timeline. He says, no, because the market is so competitive, if I don't write, I'll deliver in 3 years, I won't sell. So let me write 2 years. Overcommitting.
Okay.
Write 5 years. Second is financial mismanagement. There are people who basically don't manage the finances properly, and another drawback in our industry is that we have to buy the land with our own money. We don't get money to buy land. So that money has to be arranged partly from cash flows from customers, or partly from pre-sales or pre-launches, which don't happen so often now, or from your own resources. So what happens is that the developer is stretched from day one, because the bank doesn't fund you for buying land. It's the RBI doesn't allow it. The third reason is lack of proper execution muscle. This is the basic problem now.
All right, so you are saying that yes, developers are responsible for the delays. Now what do you do? And my question is, don't you have that question, then why promise me? Okay, go ahead.
See, there is another breed of additional FAR.
They go on delaying it because the FAR goes on changing, and they manipulate with the government. And
Do you feel that's a very strong
in
no.
our case it is like that.
Maybe it's not a norm. Sir, it's not a norm.
I'm talking my case because it's very prominent. It's 10 years, 2004 it was launched. The FSI has been changed in Delhi for 3 times, and he's still waiting for the FAR of 3. And he's changing all the structure all the time.
There is a very interesting modification in the master plan, so I would like to know your comment, and sir, your comment also on that. In 2007, there came an enhancement in master plan of Delhi that group housing was allowed for 1.67 FAR, and it was increased to 2, and the balance increase was given only for the economically weaker section houses. Later on, in connivance with Ministry of Urban Development, first the clause was modified that we will exclude the EWS portion and builders will get the benefit of this 0.3. Now everybody has applied to MCD or to the approving agency for this extra FAR, and now they are waiting for that 2.3 and 3. Until now, nobody is constructing the EWS houses.
Okay, so he's established. I think he's established the case that Yes, FAR also can be a reason for planned delay. And I think, Pankaj, would you like to defend the developers on that front?
No, I can't defend what is indefensible.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. You cannot take buyers' money, keep it with you, and then not have a visibility on finances to complete the project.
I would like to come in here. I would like to respond to that point that all these delays are cases of planned delay. I would like to stoutly defend that.
No, not all cases are, but that can also be one of the reasons.
I'm not condoning the delays per se, and also the reasons that my colleague Gitambar put forth, that there's mismanagement or there's financial liquidity problems or there's some other there's a capacity issue. These are all reasons there, but please realize that the developer also suffers. Developers do not gain. You are taking these names and all these hundreds of projects which are delayed. In each project, the developer is also losing money. There are cases in Noida or Greater Noida or Noida Extension where apartments have been sold at 1800 rupees a square foot 3 years ago. The projects got delayed because of the Noida Extension land issue. And yes, that's one reason for delay. Judicial intervention is one reason for delay, which was not mentioned here. Now those developers or many of those developers have sold, and this is true in other areas also, where projects have been sold at rates which were true 8 years ago. Now the cost of construction itself is more than 2000 rupees a square foot. So the developers end up losing money.
But then Pankaj, we've also heard that developers have also in some cases, and I don't want to take, just cancelled all those allotments and said either you buy it at the new price or don't buy it. And I can understand that the cost of construction has gone up. Ghulam Zia, you're in Bombay and I'm sure you're feeling a little bit left out. Tell me, according to you, and you've been in the industry for so long, expertise in residential projects, what is the single largest or biggest reason for project delays?
Well, I would say it's mismanagement, and mismanagement of tens of things that we spoke about, which everything can be managed, whether you're talking about purchase of land or you're talking about capacity problems or funding problems, etc., can all be managed. When somebody says that I need money to buy land, obviously you need money because otherwise everybody would start putting up a plant for, say, manufacturing of a car. So unless the industrialist or entrepreneur has that kind of a money, he won't start that business, and that is what is expected of all of them, that you have to start somewhere with certain fund that you will bring in and then go to consumers. And mind you, on the other side, while we're talking about residential, many developers who are doing commercial or retails, etc., don't get any money till the time that the product is ready. Only then people come in and take it on lease, and then you have lease discounting and so on and so forth. So ultimately the only point I'm saying, and because you asked me very, very crisp, it's about mismanagement, period.
Okay, so now the other big question is, why should the buyer be paying for that mismanagement? And that's exactly what this show is about. We're going to come back in just a moment. The conversation is a long one. We need to restore the trust because buyers need their homes. Developers are the ones who are going to give their homes. But it's just a question of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, and where should the penalties be enforced? At what level should the penalties be enforced? Should developers who have delayed more than 5 years be launching new projects? Legally, should they not be barred from launching new projects? That's the question we'll raise when we come back. Welcome back to our debate on the breakdown of trust in India's real estate market. There are projects, we just read out the figures, which have been delayed by more than 5 years, and the same developers are launching new projects. Now the big question which we have for our panel, and the buyers I'm sure also have, is why are these developers being allowed to launch new projects? Look at the biggest culprit of them all, Unitech, and I'm saying that because the figures say 53 projects delayed and 10 new projects have been launched in the last 2 years, and we've got a buyer from Unitech who's still waiting, isn't it, sir?
Yes. हमने जो है ना 117 नोएडा में, सेक्टर 117 नोएडा में फ्लैट खरीदे हैं यूनिटेक होम्स के नाम से. हमने 90% पैसा दे दिया. तो अभी जो है 2 साल से प्रोजेक्ट पे काम नहीं चल रहा है. अब वो पैसा 90% लेने के बाद कहते हैं कि हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है. जब हमने तो फुल पेमेंट दे दिया तो पैसा गया कहाँ?
Absolutely. चलिए, I think that is a question which has to be answered. Nishant Agarwal, 10 new projects have been launched by Unitech. right? So clearly they will take the money from these projects.
How
And what will they do?
90%?
Huh?
How did you pay 90%?
Construction link plan.
Construction.
वही
link
से
plan.
काम नहीं शुरू हुआ. काम
काम बंद हो गया है, काम हुआ है.
Sir, let me add to this.
नहीं नहीं, एक काम शुरू हो गया.
काम शुरू हो गया, स्ट्रक्चर बन गया और
स्ट्रक्चर बन गया.
बंद हो गया.
Every developer gets the structure ready. The plinth of the ninth
thought
or
work
the
has
11th
started.
floor
What I
is
understood was कि
ready
काम
because
शुरू नहीं
that's
हुआ.
where they can take 90% of the money. It's after that work completely comes to a halt. And this I will say with absolute surety is happening rampantly.
Then the blackmail starts.
Let me come to it.
For JP also.
Let's finish the Unitech thing first. No?
I just get comments from various people who are in various developers projects. So I'm working and representing more than 74 RWAs.
Yes.
So I have the feedback of all of them. Sir, I need to add to this. This is something which is called willful delay. You come up with the construction links plans. You say this much you pay, this much we'll deliver. And at the time when you get 90 to 95% payments, after that at the time of finishing, the structures are there, no finishing, and then the projects are delayed. None of the project is delayed. I think there are very few projects which are delayed when they have not started with construction. The projects are delayed when the structures are ready, more than 90%
And the
payments are
monies
gone.
are in. I think Pooja, you made an absolutely interesting point. Sudipta Paul, this is criminal.
I think what's going on, if you look at different, I mean, in FAR issue or the structure issue, it shows that it's all very planned. They
It is
know,
planned.
yes, they know the
So
public.
there are no bechara developers.
No. See, they have read the public policies very well. They know where the loopholes are. And they plan their things, they design their builder buyers agreement exactly the way they can come out of it. See, today if a builder can get hundreds of crores at 2% a year, by paying 5 rupees square feet, why should he go to a money lender? So it's all very obvious. Secondly, if he can wait, he's like an iron trader. If he can keep his product, it's going to rise tomorrow. He's going to get additional FAR. Now, these are issues which cannot be controlled with a builder buyers agreement.
They cannot be controlled by the...
No. There has to be very, very strong public policies. The state government should come up. These things are in discussion for the past 5 years, 10 years now. I think it's time that the lawmakers of the state government comes in and brings in laws which will stop this.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is not going to stop.
Don't you think a buyer-seller agreement can fix it? Devashish Roy,
buyer-seller
you've come out with
agreement-
a model buyer-seller agreement.
It cannot be fixed without buyer awareness. I can have hundreds of laws.
Let me add.
कहीं पर बोर्ड नहीं लगा होता है कि आप यहाँ पर इस प्रोजेक्ट में पैसा ना लगाएं.
No. Who is going to put it? So my question is...
I can answer that question. You go to any shop.
दूसरा, इतनी बायर के पास पैसे नहीं होते हैं कि वो अपनी नौकरी करे या फिर हाई कोर्ट के इलाहाबाद के चक्कर लगाए या सीसीआई का वकील को हायर करे.
Point is, I need a home. Where am I going to go? I need a home. In India, owning a home is important. There is also a mistrust between tenants and landlords.
Absolutely.
Every 2 years, I am asked to
Increase.
vacate a house.
Yeah.
So I want to buy a home, right?
True.
I'm not left with any choice. What are my choices, Nishant? Are you not selling Unitech and JP projects on your website? You're the largest, one of the largest brokers in the country.
I would like to make two very important points. We are talking about builder-buyer agreement in general. I think the payment plan is the most important aspect of the builder-buyer
Absolutely.
agreement. If to any party you will give 90% payment on doing the structure, for balance 10% they have no motivation to complete the project.
So you got to fix the agreement.
Exactly. So I think CCI should take a suo moto cognizance of this fact that we should define what percentage of payment should be taken at what stage. If 35% payment is blocked after the superstructure, you would see these numbers improving dramatically. Actually, you should do the analysis in how many projects the structure is complete and only the finishing is left, because only 10% money is left. Out of 1 crore, only 10 lakh needs to come, so developer has no motivation to
He
do
has
it.
no motive. How do you fix it?
Number two.
Mr. Pawar, how
just
do you
1
fix
minute,
that?
just
I mean,
1
I
minute,
think
because-
Nishant has said absolutely the right thing.
No,
The
but-
payment terms, the penalty terms.
Number
of the
two.
agreement has to
Number
change.
two.
But what he's saying, he doesn't know that CCI can't do it.
he can't do it.
He can only do it, CCI can only do it in the case of dominant undertakings.
wrong.
But
I-
it cannot be a industry-wise practice.
Whoever
just
does
a
it.
minute.
If government does it, CCI does
It
it,
is
regulator does
it
it.
is the job of the licensing
Exactly,
authority.
maybe.
The government.
The licensing authority, which is the state government,
Should
has to
specify.
do it, number one.
I disagree with that
Number
also.
two,
State government is in hands with the builders.
that is generally the case. But
We can do it.
State
1 second, sir. Give other
let me
people a
complete
chance.
now.
Let Mr.
Since
Kumar
you called
complete and
me,
we'll
let me just complete to you. We have to view the entire thing with a cool and compassionate mind. There is no point trying to blame each other.
Right.
You said the challenge is to restore confidence. Restore confidence among all the players, the consumer, the builder, the broker also. At times he is also at fault and so on. The fact of the matter is construction industry is one of the biggest employers at the moment. There is need to promote it. It is also a fact that a large number of developers are completely unprofessional. I am not saying all of them. Let us not name
You are
them.
saying a large number.
A large number.
Okay.
I am also saying that they have to suffer delays at times because of not
Approvals.
their fault, approvals, and at many times it is a snake and ladder situation. They obtain approval, again when it lapses they have to again go back and so on. That's why the government separately in the Ministry of Housing appointed a committee, of which I was privileged to be the chairman, to suggest streamlining of procedures, and that committee has submitted its report. But you have not touched many other problems. For example, even after the apartments are built, there are sometimes defects
Quality.
for which people keep on running and there is nobody to look after those things. But there is a provision internationally that there is an inherent defect insurance, and for certain years, let's say 10 years or something, the builder is liable to get it repaired, and if he doesn't repair, the insurance takes care of that. At least the consumer has some place to go. Everybody has to be aware that everyone has a role to play. The builder has a role to play, the government has a role to play financially. It's not an industry still.
It's not recognized as an industry still. All right. So then I think the big question to ask is the regulatory bill though doesn't have anything on the payment plans. It doesn't.
Our model agreement does.
No, the regulatory bill says that you will put 70% of the money required in a separate account.
But it doesn't say that you cannot take the monies 90%. You cannot have a construction link plan, which is also a big problem. All right, we'll have to take a very quick break. I think we're going to come back and find solutions. Most of the problems have been outlined. Mr. Dhanendra Kumar has clearly outlined them. But I would also like the buyers to tell me what do they see as a solution right now for their problems. We've established that they are in a fix. They're sitting, they've paid 90% and they don't have a home. What 3 or 4 things that they would like right now for the developers who delay their projects? And of course, from our panel, what is it that can fix this trust between buyers and sellers? Realty debate on the crisis of trust between buyers of homes and sellers, which is developers. We've established that there is greed, there is of course intention to probably not deliver in time, and there is mismanagement. The 3 biggest reasons for delays in project delivery. And of course there are larger questions of what happens once the flat comes to you. Is the quality up to the mark? I think the gentleman there has a lot of issues against the developer and of course the project that he's been promised. आप बताइए सर, क्या चाहते हैं आप? BPTB डिले वहां से हुआ है?
BPTB 95% of the payment was paid in March 2011. In September 2013, they offered me the possession letter. They increased the area by 20%. They increased lot of other charges, 10 lakhs more. Then I said, I went to court. There it was said that they have not got the occupation certificate. In the license agreement, it is written if they offer the letter without the occupation certificate, their license can be revoked. They immediately, they kept on telling the court that they are getting the occupation certificate, they are getting the occupation certificate. After about 9 months in the court, they wrote to the court that they were drawing their letter of possession. I was left with nowhere.
Sir, can you pass the mic to him? Yes.
For JP, we had a meeting on 30th August. We gave 3-4 pointers, like give us a revised possession date. That was one. They have said that they'll issue a letter, but we have till date we have not received any letter. Then we said that if you delay further by that revised possession date, then you should give us proper compensation for that. They have not agreed with that also.
How the super area increase, we also made a point to them that why should the super area be increased when, you know, as per UP Apartment Act, it may or may not be legal at all. So it was completely turned down. Additionally, I also want to ask the panelists here about the funds, you know, misappropriation or appropriation, whatever you want to call it. We've paid 90% of the, you know, amount to complete the, to get the houses. Again, you know, the point comes back to the same thing that we are not getting the houses. The structure is ready for 2 years. Who's going to stop these builders? Are they scared of any law? Is there any authority in India?
Are they scared of any law? I think you have just asked that one big question. That's all. That's. I think that we need the answer from Sudipta Paul. Start. They're not scared of it.
See, we need to understand one thing. They might be sitting all together. They are all apartment owners in the larger basket, but they are all seen differently by different states. State of Haryana has given them certain statutory rights. UP government has given them another set of statutory rights. When your consumer rights fail you, you need to look at your statutory rights. UP Apartment Act has given a lot of rights which makes the builder to complete a project within a finite time. He cannot change the project, cannot take FAR in between.
So are you saying court is where they have to go?
I mean,
Not
at
fight
least
with the developer?
see
There
the
is
thing.
no fight.
What
You
I'm
think the courts
suggesting
will
is
support?
what I'm suggesting is you have never brought in the development authority in this whole business. The development authority is there to look into this and ensure that the buildings are completed within the time span given to them. The terms of license has to be enforced by the development authority.
Development authorities do it. Gulams, yeah. Come in here. 1 second. Aren't they in cohorts with the...
आप कह रहे हैं हम लोग नोएडा अथॉरिटी के पास गए, हमने उनके सीईओ से मिलने की कोशिश की लेकिन उसने टाइम नहीं दिया. वो सब बकवास करते हैं कि साहब को बड़े अर्जेंट मीटिंग आ गई और वो वहां दिल्ली चले गए. लेकिन वो एक मिनट वो जो है ना, जब हम ऊपर दूसरे अधिकारी से मिले तो उस समय वो अंदर ही बैठे हुए थे. तो इसमें जो है ना नोएडा अथॉरिटी को हमने सारे पॉइंट लिख के दिए हैं और उसमें एक पॉइंट ये भी है कि अगर वो इस तरह के लोगों को कंटिन्यूअस जो है ना, या तो लीज पे प्लॉट ये लैंड देते जाएंगे या फिर उनको ब्लैक लिस्ट करके उनको जो है ना, जो भी जिन पे कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं हुआ है शुरू, उनको कैंसिल करेंगे. वो
हमने उनको दिया हुआ. Absolutely. So I think I've heard all of you. I think we need solution. Gulam Zia, you've heard the panel and of course the consumer, the buyers here. There is a lot of angst and I think it's valid. Tell us 3 things or, you know, couple of things which need to be fixed now to restore that trust and to ensure that buyers don't get into a fix again. 90%, 95% of their money is lying. One-sided agreements, quality is a question, execution delays, no fear of hurting the buyers, all of it in perspective. Give us a solution.
Well, first thing that comes to my mind is that, and then it was purely because this whole thing of CCI when came into the picture, we realized that there's something like that existing in our existing law books, etc. So the point is that we have solutions even now. Could be perhaps more painstaking or perhaps slightly more time consuming, but then we do have laws even now. However, to make it easier or simpler, we obviously are now talking about the Regulatory Act and a couple of other things, the Land Acquisition Act and a couple of more things that are coming up. These things have to come in force and in every state, because a problem that we also face is that the housing as a subject is a state subject, and because of these conflicts between the central government and the state government.
If there's a regulator in place, a lot of it will get sorted out. Nishant?
3 very simple.
You also mentioned the regulator.
Yeah, 3 very simple solutions, because we can keep talking about Prime Minister has to do this, regulator has to do this government has to do this. 3 very simple solutions. Licensing needs to be strengthened. The developers which you talked about are still getting licenses from government.
Yes.
Okay.
Why are they getting licenses? I think somebody has to look into that.
Yeah, licenses need to be cancelled and they should not be given further licenses. Second is the payment plan. Up to superstructure, there should be a threshold up like 65 to 70% pay. Beyond that, developer should not be allowed to collect. Third very important thing, the day I give my booking amount in a project, I am not a buyer, I am a shareholder in that project. I need to enforce those rights. Every year, developers should give an affidavit to the buyers that the funds of that project have not been used anywhere else. So that if they use it, then it becomes a criminal liability.
Okay.
Three very simple solutions.
Very, very simple
licensing
solutions.
authority, and two, the developer has to do two things.
I think
that's it.
That's a great solution. Debashish.
Well, you can have hundreds of laws, but if the buyer is not aware of what the laws are,
They also have to be held responsible, right?
absolutely.
A little bit.
If you are not aware of what the laws are, nobody can help you. Till date, if you keep on going to the developer and say, please give us our flat, please give us our flat, the person who has been duping you for the last 10 years will suddenly not turn into a saint and give you a flat. You have to create trouble for him. Trouble as in big trouble. You have to go through your buyer-seller agreement and find out what you can do. There are bodies like the Economic Offences Wing. You have been paying IDC and EDC in your contracts, which are over and above the cost of the flat. Why don't you ask the Economic Offences Wing to look into their books of accounts? Create trouble for your builder, otherwise he will not give you a flat. Our organization has drafted a buyer-seller agreement which is freely downloadable
Okay,
anywhere.
so download
you can
that.
use it.
Last comment from a CREDAI member. Why isn't CREDAI asking these guys to leave CREDAI? At least, hold the good developers and just ask them to exit. You should be throwing them out if some of them are your members.
Okay, before I answer that question, I'll give my solution. I would have more faith in the bargaining power of the buyers as a community. I think all the solutions which have been put forth are legal in nature. I think the buyers should be more vigilant when they buy. They should weed out the bad developers. Why do they go and buy with these developers? When 40 projects are delayed, and the builder launches the 41st one, why do you go and buy? Why don't you check? You buy because you get a free parking. You buy because you get some assured buyback. Don't fall for these.
You have to check the credentials, but that is for the new buyers. For these people are already stuck. No, sir, we have completely run out of time. I think I have to thank everybody. Mr. Dhanendra Kumar, thank you very much for joining in. Sudipto Paul, I think we've got great solutions. Debashish, from you and from the two gentlemen from CREDAI and developer community. Obviously, they don't have complaints against them, so they had the courage to come here and also talk about it. Nishant Agarwal on both sides and has to wear both caps, and Ghulam Zia. Thank you so much for joining in. We can only hope that there is a regulator in place sooner than later, and we hope that the ministry, the government is hearing it in the winter session of the parliament. The regulator bill is presented and it gets passed, because I think laws need to be strengthened and developers have to be held responsible to the buyer and to deliver to him. Goodbye and thanks very much for watching.